Hello, everybody, and welcome back to WonderCraft. It's been quite a long time, so this episode might not be as interesting as the other episodes that we've done in the past. Not that really any of the episodes have been that interesting, but I wanted to make a video because we have been doing so many massive projects in the hardcore world, and I just have not talked about them, haven't made videos about them. Also, you might be wondering, what the heck's with your skin, dude? That's completely different Minecraft skin. Uh, I made a Minecraft skin based off the movie Thunderbolts. I got really inspired, love that movie, so I kind of got attached to it, and I haven't been switching it since. I built a Avengers Tower on a modded world, and it's been this way ever since. I'm gonna probably recreate the Avengers Tower, maybe even two, in a different color scheme, at some point, because I want to do that for the Happy Ghasts, but that's unrelated to anything. Speaking of the Happy Ghasts, so let's talk about the first project that I worked on and I want to tell you about, and we'll go into some time lapses and I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. But this is the first sort of project that we worked on, right? And it might just look like a big pile of nothing, a big empty thing. It's like, hey, did you clear out an island? Did you clear out a continent? What did you do? But if you're an astute member of the viewing variety, if you have a good keen sense of eye, you can notice there's a lot of mushroom cows here. And there's also a brown mushroom, which is really rare. It only happens when a cow is struck by lightning. A mushroom cow is struck by lightning. But if you know that mushroom cows only spawn in the mushroom or the mushroom islands, you can see when I hit F3 in the biome section, this is actually a mushroom fields biome. So basically, we have cleared out this entire mushroom island, and we're going to use it for a place where we're going to build a giant temple and maybe a little bit of a town. And I'm going to build some trees and stuff, and I'm going to make a whole custom area. And also we have some skeleton horses here too that happen on on stream. It's kind of crazy. But basically, with the change of the lodestones, now if you guys don't know, lodestones used to take a netherite ingot for you to craft them. Now you can find them in chests, and they take only an iron ingot to craft them. So what I've been doing is going around with this orange shulker box where we have different kinds of compasses and lodestones with anvils, and we're basically putting lodestones in every place that is a point of interest, a place that I want to remember. Because back in the day, I used to write things down, and then I would have to go, okay, what's the the directions? But now we have lodestones that have these compasses that point directly to where a position is in the world. So if I just get a billion of them and put them around wherever I need, I don't have to write anything down, and we have an in-game solution to figure out where things are. So, because I can't do anything simply, I decided that I wanted to make a lore reason in my world as to what these lodestones are, and it's a lore reason, but I'm still working out the lore, basically. But I wanted to put a cool area. I didn't want the lodestones just to be sitting out like you see here. I didn't want these lodestones just anywhere. I didn't want the lodestones to be hidden, necessarily just in the ground. I wanted something cool, so we decided, and I'll show you guys this a little bit later in the video, but I decided I wanted to make a little temple. Like when you go to in a game and there's a save point, like whether you go to the calendar or a crystal or something, I wanted to make like a save point, and that would be where we put the lodestones. And so with the little temples, I thought it would be interesting if the little temples, or little shrines, I should say, if there was a organization that made them. So this island is going to be where we build that organization, that central temple area, where these were the places. This is the place where they make the lodestones and they give them out to the other countries, and or not even necessarily they make the lodestones. It could be a place where they bless it. Like how you get holy water. Like they don't make water there. They send the water to be blessed or whatever. But that's kind of the idea. So we're gonna build a place here, and I basically wanted to think of a cool area. So I thought maybe geographically an area in the center of things. Nah, it doesn't really make sense. I was trying to think of different stuff, and then I remembered mushroom islands have a very special property. Hostile mobs cannot spawn on a mushroom island. So what I decided was I would make it on a mushroom island so that lore reason wise is that it's such a holy area with like spiritual energy that hostile mobs don't even fuck with it, right? Like hostile mobs don't even come on to dare touch this island because this is like God's land. You know, this is a God's land, not the God as in like the Christian or Catholic religions, Catholicism, but a God in my world. You know, and so that's kind of the idea we got going. Now, I do have another project. I'm sorry that I'm yapping a lot, but I do have another project I want to show you guys as well. And so while that happens, I'm going to drop you guys some time lapses of how long this took, or the progress of this. And then I will come back to you when I reach the other area, and then we'll show off the shrine. And that will be basically this episode of WonderCraft. So you probably won't see too much interesting stuff, but I do have a couple things I want to talk about and ask some questions, so you guys can leave some comments down below and maybe answer my questions if you have opinions. But I will see you guys in a bit. Boop. Ooh, alright. We're back at home on one of the two last things I want to talk about, or a handful of things I want to talk about. Also, I forgot to mention, I talked about this earlier. I said, speaking of the Happy Guest, and then I never talked about it, we haven't updated yet to the newest version, which adds the Happy Guest, but you saw all those mushroom cows there on that island. I don't want to keep them there, but I didn't want to murder them all, so I'm going to hopefully take the Happy Gas and relocate them somewhere. I was thinking of maybe making a cool island somewhere, but I think I might just move them to the next nearest island just so they can live out their lives, but I don't know. But we're going to definitely take the Happy Guests and we're going to move them. I'm also going to use the Happy Guests for the train, I think. We'll put a Happy Guest in a minecart and sit on the Happy Guest. But I actually have to go soon, so I want to talk a little bit about everything quickly first, but this is the shrine I'm talking about. So we'll build one of these at every location, and maybe we'll do them in different colors. Maybe the inside will be different colors, but this is the idea of the shrine. As you can see, it's nothing really special. You just go in, and there's a little incense area here. You know, you can give something, you know, burn some incense or whatever. Just a little shed, basically. And then with the new glowing bushes, the firefly bushes, we have them the underneath it so that it will kind of glow when you get near it. And I think it looks pretty nice. It's really simple, really small, but I didn't want anything super big and complicated because I'm going to build a billion of these around my world. But this will point to, so for instance, if I need to go overworld home, the nether ones are just connected to the nether portal because I think that makes the most sense, but it is connected here. So if we like turn around, you know, it's right here if we go around it. So yeah, it has the lodestone under it, and it's just a nice little place that I think looks really nice. A lot of this is based off of like Japanese Shintoism, which I'm no expert on, but I've been learning a lot about it, and it's very fascinating. But yeah, I'm not gonna like deeply focus in on that. Some things will be probably lifted from it, but it's gonna mainly be my own sort of take on it. Because I don't want to insult anyone by trying to be like, this is a Japanese thing, and then I completely butcher it. So it's just really inspired by that kind of stuff. And then the next thing I want to talk about, thank God it's nighttime, is my creaking farm. So my creaking farm, since the creakings have been added, I made for resin farm specifically. I don't really understand how this resin farm works. I followed a tutorial, which I do not remember the name of the tutorial person. I said it on stream, probably. But that is bad. I should probably remember. I should put signs on my things, but it does this, right? Where it will constantly have these guys here, and so that moves back and forth, and then we can come down here, and we can smack them. And because the pistons are moving up there, it knocks the resin off, and the resin falls down, and we collect a bunch of resin. We're going to be using a lot of the resin for, I want to make an amber area in the trial chambers at some point whenever we continue working on that, which I think will be sometime soon. I want to work on the desert area first, but it doesn't hurt to collect some materials. And then also, this is going to be used for tangerine trees, because I want to make a new type of tree design for the temple area. And I'm obsessed with, like, anime and One Piece, and I was thinking about Nami's tangerine trees. And so, if you come over to, like, trees like this, you can put this on top of the tree leaves, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a... It's weird because I think of my shaders make the tree leaves move around, but that's kind of interesting. But it looks kind of like fruits sticking out of the tree, and I really like that. So I want to call them tangerine trees and make my own little custom trees. Now, I have one more thing I want to show you guys, so I will get to there, and then we will probably end off the episode. Okay, we are here at the nether roof, nether portal in the middle of nowhere. This is what I was talking about when I said that the lodestones for the nether portal is just going to be part of the nether portal because it's the simplest thing I could do. But what nether portal are we at? The Nether Pixel Art Project. I remember the pixel art project being a lot closer to my house. Huh. Why would I be in the middle of nowhere? Oh my god. Welcome to the new pixel art project. So, we have revamped what is known as the pixel art project in a completely new area. Completely reset it. I'm gonna have beacons around. I don't know how I'm gonna put the beacon over there. I'm gonna probably lose my mind doing it. We have beacons on each corner. I'm gonna have 4 in the middle and then probably 1 in the very middle, because there's gonna be some kind of like in-between stuff. We're gonna have to we're probably gonna end up just killing all the mushrooms that come up here. We're gonna have to make like a fence or something that goes around. But I have decided, since working on the temple area in the Mushroom Island, I realized just how much fun working in mushroom fields have been. Okay? Like, I just realized how much fun this was. Because you don't get any mobs coming at you at night. The only times you get a mob is a phantom. You don't have to sleep for like 3 days or however long a phantom spawns. And you can just work and you don't have to worry. Do you know how long it takes, like, doing the pixel art stuff, where I have to go back and forth and sleep every time because I'm terrified a creeper is going to blow up something? Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. So, here's what we got set up for the new stuff. We have all of the blocks that I used in the pixel art project, as well as I'm really trying to get blocks of iron, raw iron, to work on. Speaking of things, we got emerald blocks now. I have not used emerald blocks before, but we have the item sorter. So if I come down here to the emerald blocks, it will eventually start filling in, hopefully. There it is. So we have the item sorter for each type of item that we'll use, each block we'll use. So the reason I picked wool is because if I take my pickaxe, it's not going to insta-mine when we're moving. Like, it's going to take quite a bit of time to even break when we're standing there. So when I start mining stuff, I won't insta-mine the wool under it. That's just the block that I picked, was the easiest to get. This is my entire wool that I've had since, like, the all-time. Like, this is all the wool and even more. But yeah, we have that. We have... So, here we have... I've been using Lightmatica to help me with the positioning of beacons, because doing the double beacons has kind of been hard, so I've just been doing that. But yeah, we have some in the corners here. This was the shit that drove me insane, was trying to figure out how to get these in these corners, and I have no idea how I'm going to do it in this, because I'm pretty sure... Because we're going to probably do it, like, somewhere in the middle here, and we have this stuff here, and I want to have it, like, one close, and I'll probably end up having to do it one slightly further, but we'll see. I could do one in here and replace these blocks with glass instead of, and have the rails on top of them, is something I might do, but it's going to be tough, because it's going to probably annoy the shit out of my OCD that it's, like, one off, but whatever. But yeah, we have different corners, each one, and then we're going to do there, and then, like I said, probably one in the middle, but this is what I've been working on for a large portion of it. Like, a lot of these videos, I feel like, if you come check out my streams on either on YouTube or Twitch, I'm doing most of this on Twitch right now, but this is, like, if you want to see the processes of this stuff, this is kind of mostly on streams, because I don't know how interested you guys would be in it, but I'd love to... I'll show you guys the little bit of time-lapses I did. I'm using a new time-lapse mod called Flashback instead of the replay mod, and it's been a lot of fun, so I didn't record too much just in case, but here we go. Boop. welcome back. But this is, so, with the moving of the pixel art project, this is the pixel art we've been working on, with the moving of the pixel art project, I wanted to make it so I upgraded everything to be better than what it was in the past. Like, I was like, if I'm going to restart and build it here, I want to make sure everything looks as good as it did before I made everything, you know what I mean? And so, here, as you can see, is the railway system for the minecarts. Oh, don't want to get in the way, but I changed it up from the other variant that we had for the minecarts, which was I did a 3 wide track. So how it would work is, say it would start here, it would go here, go down, come back around to this way, curve this way, bounce back, curve this way, go through here, curve back, and then if it has any items, it would stop here, empty them. Now we only have a 2 wide track, so it goes down, curves this way, bounces back, curves this way, fills in, and so we have a I think a stack of hopper minecarts going around at all times. And then this was like, having a collection system is really, really good and really important, but one thing that I wanted to have was some way for it to auto filter that thing. So I made a little minecart track. Before, in the old one, we had a line of hoppers that connected to a chest. This one, I decided to simplify it a little bit more and just make a railway that goes around, where this minecart, it's probably not going to be the most efficient, like, way to do it, because it's going to be collecting only a few blocks as it goes along from these chests, but this is passive, so it gets it done no matter what. But it comes around, it collects blocks from each of the chests. We put double chests as well, so it can store more items, as well as be able to pick up more, so we'll have 2 chances going across each block. And then if it has any items, it will stop up here with this, and it will empty them out. So it's just a really easy passive thing. So it's not like the best, like it doesn't stop at each chest to get the max amount it possibly can, but it does its job, and it does its job quite well. As you can see, we have the overflow box here. So this is any of the blocks that, either if all the chests and hoppers are full, it would come to this one, and also if they're not, something that's filtered in, then it comes in here. So here's all the stuff it's picked up. Just from this. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be as kind to these cows. I'm probably going to end up killing them. And we have lightning rods around, because I kind of realized partway through building this, wool is flammable. And I literally, on stream, I was placing this wool down. I was like, well, I'm going to have to put lightning rods down, because, you know, once lightning hits, it's gonna become really, really big problem. You know, it's gonna light everything on fire. And I had to refill this part because lightning literally struck it as I was talking. So we have a lot of, so something else that's kind of fun is we have a lot of brown mushrooms around here, and another set of skeleton horses. So those things will probably try to move back, but this is really far out. This is about 14, so this is about like 11,000 blocks away from my home plus. So traveling back on Happy Gas would be a journey, but we might do it. I mean, with the skeleton horses, at least you can kind of I could bring them through the nether roof. But the hardest part with the Happy Gas is I feel like I'm gonna probably start making my nether portals larger so that I can bring Happy Gas before. So this is about the end of the video. I've yapped and I've done all the time lapses, but the idea I have for, I was talking about this in the beginning of the episode, building the Avengers Tower. I originally built it because I was just obsessed with the Thunderbolts. I still am, but I was just in a real Marvel mood, and I was like, I want to build Avengers Tower. That would be so fun. And then I was like, I want to rebuild in my hardcore world, because anything I build outside of my hardcore world, I think, man, I could have just built that in my hardcore world. So I'm like, I'm gonna rebuild this one in my hardcore world. And the My brain just shut off. But I was thinking, what is the use of the Avengers Tower? I'm like, it could be a second house. Like, I want to build a summer home in Pneumonia. Maybe we build another home somewhere else. And just have like bases everywhere, or I build it like for something, like maybe put a farm in there. I couldn't think of what I wanted to do with it yet, and so then I decided what I wanted to do was I would build it as a way so that there's like the jet hangar at the top, or like the helipad where you land, have that be a place where I can land my happy gas, and then have a nether portal inside that's big enough for me to ride the happy gas into the nether portal to get them on the nether roof. And then I'll be able to move them to different areas. But I'm probably going to end up wanting to make all the nether portals bigger. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if there's an easy way to get them through. And at some point, I do want to... make a train with the happy gas. It's probably only going to be one cart, but I think sitting on the happy gas as a train would work very well for mine. Also, I will say, because I talked about this on stream, that this, as you can see in the little time lapse I showed you, this took a long time to do and like a lot of materials. So I was sitting AFKing at the gold farm for gold for the powered rails. And after a while, I was kind of like, this is just me doing nothing, and it's kind of boring. And rails, I don't know. You guys can tell me your opinion, but for me, rails aren't really that broken, I guess. I don't know. But I decided, because I was tired of sitting around and waiting to craft them, I would just duplicate them, because there's a duplication glitch you can use for any minecart and carpet, or any minecart rail, and carpet, and so I just duplicated the minecart rails, and I'm probably going to do that going forward for when we want to build the train and stuff, just because I want to do like massive projects where I'm able to have millions of rails, and I just don't want to waste the time. I'm still AFKing for gold for these beacons. I don't have enough blocks for the beacons. I used all of my iron for these 4. And then we need to get 5 more. So each beacon... So I have a schematic placed down, right? Each beacon takes about 188 blocks of iron. So we can build this one, but 188 times 5. We need that many blocks of iron / gold / emerald / whatever. So right now I've just been AFKing at my gold farm while my iron farm has its chunk loader on, and we've been collecting materials like that. But this was a very long and informative episode of WonderCraft, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun just doing some of these mindless tasks, and I hope you guys are excited for the ride to see what I build next, because I don't even know what I'm going to do next. Probably maybe go back to working on the freaking trial chamber that I'm supposed to do. We only did one thing of. Oh, man. And when the happy guests come out, or when I update to the happy guest update, I'll definitely take you guys on an exploration where we bring some happy guests, because I think those are some of the coolest things ever. I'm really, 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 really loving the development cycle of Minecraft right now, being that smaller updates more often, where I feel like they have the ability to fully flesh out mechanics and ideas, rather than just thinking, how many ideas can we fit into a big update? We need more ideas for this update, or else it's going to be boring, you know? So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Boop.